Every company needs a coherent risk management strategy. Among the threats on the horizon, from hackers to hurricanes, business and IT together need to determine which would have the greatest impact and how that impact can best be mitigated. When all else fails, how can IT help the business recover from the consequences? In most large organizations, regulatory compliance, data security, and business continuity are the three pillars of risk management. Ever since Sarbanes-Oxley became law, risk management and compliance became inseparable. But data security has its own explicit demands and regulations. And having viable plans for business continuity in case of IT disruption is as fundamental as it has ever been. Sarbanes-Oxley sent IT scrambling to increase storage capacity and organize archives so financial information could be accessed promptly. But thanks to recent high-profile incidents of data loss or theft, data security has become a more urgent need than complying with financial disclosure mandates. Many large organizations are now in the process of classifying sensitive data so they can apply appropriate protection, from stringent access controls to encryption. As part of that risk assessment, companies need to understand the regulatory landscape. Most know about HIPAA, Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, which mandates confidentiality for medical records. They may not be as familiar with the PCI Data Security Standard, which now requires encryption of customer credit account information. And more than half of all states require businesses to inform customers promptly when their information might have been compromised. All of these protective measures are moot if the data center is down. In determining how much to spend on failover systems for business continuity, either in-house or outsourced, companies need to assess the cost of downtime carefully. For example, it may be relatively easy to calculate loss of revenue per hour of downtime, but such negative effects as damage to brand and customer attrition due to failure must also be factored in. When calculating the cost of prevention, IT must take into account the cost of improving IT processes, such as change management or more frequent checks of data backups. In large organizations, developing a risk management strategy is an enormous undertaking. Putting all major points of exposure together in one big picture is a new but necessary approach. Address the most obvious vulnerabilities first, and you're on your way to a less risky future.